Hi friends, welcome back to Shine. Hope everyone is fit, healthy and fine. Well, today we are back with a new video on a new topic, that is importance of guidelines in pharmaceutical industries. Well, before I begin this video, I have one question for you. Have you ever thought before taking any medicine whether it's safe for consumption or not? You must be thinking no, because you might say you have checked the expiry and manufacturing date which has been written on the backside of that particular drug. Well, how are you so assured that the thing which is written over that label is 110% correct, and the medicine which you are taking, it will do its work, and whatever the desired result is there, you will get that benefit from that drug and your disease will get treated after the consumption of that drug. And even if you have taken that medicine, what if does not work? What will you do in that condition? To whom you are going to complain? And why would anyone will be listening to your complaints? Well, here comes the role and importance of these guidelines. What happens? These guidelines set some kind of rules and regulations for the pharmaceutical industries. Yes, pharmaceutical industries is the industry which actually manufactures the drug which you take after the prescription of the certain physicians who are qualified. Now, why would this pharmaceutical industries will listen to these regulatory bodies? Well, here comes the answer. These regulatory bodies are government bodies which regulates the manufacturing of the drug across the country, and they give the permission to these industries to manufacture the drug under certain conditions and circumstances, or the criteria which is set by this regulatory body for the well-being of everyone who is taking the medicine or who is under the medication. Not only that, this regulatory body also make the rules and regulation for the launch of any new drug, or not only the new drugs or the new innovations which are upcoming in the market, but also they keep the track of the drugs which are already in the market. If any company has to launch any new drug in any country, they have to follow these rules set by the regulatory bodies, because each and every country has its own regulatory body, which is a governmental body which regulates the laws and norms in that particular country. So if a manufacturer has to expand its business, he has to follow all the rules and regulation which is set by the regulatory body of that country. So if a company has to expand its business in other country or even within the domestic market, he has to submit all the details to these regulatory bodies to have the detailed scrutiny of this particular drug. It will also help the physician who is prescribing the drug to prescribe the drug in a better way and in the best combination to treat the patient in a better way. Now, what is the main aim of these regulatory bodies? The main aim of these regulatory bodies is safety, strength, identity, efficacy, purity, and the quality of the drug. These regulatory bodies not only look after the new innovation or keeping the tracks of the drugs which are existing, but they also look after the market complaint. Means the drug which you have taken, and if you face any problem, for example, you have taken a certain drug and you have faced an adverse reaction after taking that drug. Now what will you do? There is a simple way you can complain. You can report that particular incident either to the physician who has prescribed you, or you can directly complain or report your complaint to the manufacturer. All the details of the manufacturing unit has already mentioned on the particular drug which you have taken on the label portion. At the back side of that particular strip or any other dosage form if you are taking, the labeling is there. So now the manufacturer will take care of the market complaint which you have reported, and based on the criticality of the particular condition under which you have undergone, the action will be taken by the manufacturer. What if any industry has to launch a new product irrespective of the domestic market or the export market? Now, how will they launch their product? Well, for launching a product in any market, the regulatory bodies of that particular country will visit the industry to check whether the particular industry is following all the norms and regulation which they have set for the safety of the patient or not. During their audit, if any non-compliance is observed, they will give the observation to that particular industry or that the manufacturing unit, and they will look for the compliance of that observations. If the observations are critical, or we can say if the observations are major, the that particular manufacturing unit can get a warning letter from these regulatory bodies, or in the worst case scenario, the company can be shut down. But if the company has followed all the rules and regulations which are set for the safety of the drug for the patient use, they will definitely clear the audit, and they will get the business approval for the launch of their medicine in the particular market, whichever they were trying to get the license to to deliver, to export that product. They will get that license with the flying colors. Now, you must be thinking why all these things actually came, and what's the reason behind the formation of these regulatory bodies. Well, to answer this question, we have to go back into the history to look why actually these regulatory bodies were formed. Well, before the start of the 20th century, there were no proper organizations set for the manufacturing or testing of the drugs which were produced by the XYZ manufacturing companies. Some of them were not even qualified. They didn't even have the knowledge about how the drugs react, what's the drug reaction rate, what if they are adding two chemicals, what the reaction could happen, what will happen to the patient. They had absolutely, we can say, very less knowledge, or they didn't know about the combination. There was no control over the intake of opium, morphines and other psychotic drugs. There were absolutely no label claim was there. So many incidents happened, due to which it gives the spark to the government to form the organizations or regulatory bodies like them. When we look back in the history, during the year of 1937, one incident took place with the elixir of sulfanilamide. Well, there was a company named S.E. Massigils. That company used to produce this particular elixir of sulfanilamide to treat the staphylococcus infections which were happening in the children. They were having the problem of sore throat. So that company didn't have the proper knowledge that the solution which they were using to dissolve that sulfanilamide was actually toxic in nature. They didn't knew this thing. So what happened, they were using the toxic chemical of diethylene glycol. The combination didn't went well of these two chemicals of sulfanilamide and that particular dissolving agent. What happened, they manufactured almost more than 633 batches, and children were administered with that drug, and many children died in that particular year. More than 100 children were dead. So it gave mass movement, and it created a spark, awareness in the whole public that there is a need for a governmental body who will look after these manufacturing units, what they are manufacturing, what the label claim. If they are writing 500 mg of something, of any chemical, for example paracetamol 500 mg, then it should be 500 mg, but it was not up to the mark at that period of time. Labeling system was not there, testing of the drugs were not there. Then with this incident, the federal food drugs and cosmetic act was passed by the government of USA, which came as an act in 1938. Another one incident took place in the year of 1962. What happened here was the case of the thalidomide. It was a medicine which was taken by the pregnant women to avoid the morning sickness, but there was no control over the prescribed drug. There was no concept that they should be taking the drugs from a prescribed physician or qualified doctors, or the person who is qualified having the knowledge of the medicine. What happened when this woman took this medicine? The medicine didn't have the great effect on the children's. The children's which were born by the pregnant women who had consumed or who have taken these medicines, they were having some deformities of limbs. Babies were abnormal. Some even died. The number went more than 100. So this gave the urge to the government to introduce the GMP. The GMP is good manufacturing practices. It involved all the amendments and it covered all the loopholes which were present in the earlier act. And from this, every day new from GMP CGMP came, and like this the innovation and the modification depending upon the requirement of the current scenario, these regulatory bodies and norms get expanded to ensure the safety of the patient. Now let's see some important regulatory bodies whose name we have you might have heard a lot of time. For example, MHRA, TGA, US FDA, WHO, ICH. So let's look them one after one. So here they are. Now some interesting facts. Well, the first female pharmacist of India who has a PhD degree in pharmacy, she is Sneharani Jain. PICS currently has 54 active members. Drugs and Cosmetic Acts of India was implemented in the year 1940, but the rule was passed in the year 1945. The first pharmaceutical industry of India was established in the year 1901, and the name of the industry was Bengal Chemicals and Pharmaceutical Limited. Now let's have a recap, or let's have the summary of what we have discussed in this video. In this video, we came across the different guidelines and importance of these guidelines in the pharmaceutical industry. We talked about different norms, different regulatory bodies, why industries need these pharmaceutical regulatory bodies, and why as a patient we can feel safe while consuming these drugs. We came across the different regulatory bodies and the country names. We came across this different interesting facts regarding these industries and rules and regulatory bodies. So if you liked the content of my video, do like, subscribe, comment and share this video. And if you want more details on any particular regulatory body, you can either visit the website of that regulatory body, or you can comment it down in our comment section. We can make a next video or on that particular topic, or any information if you need. You can contact me on my Instagram ID, which is written below, or my Facebook ID or my LinkedIn ID. All the IDs are given in the description. You can contact me, and if you like this video, do like, subscribe and share this video, and stay tuned for more interesting videos like this. Do follow Shine 2109. Thank you.